So hi everybody, welcome back to the Soil Viola Show. My next guest is one of the one of my a provider that I used to know, a good friend, Casey. How's it going?
Hi, everybody. I'm great. Thanks, Sawyer. How are you hanging in there today?
Good, good. Hope you're having a good day. So question one, how did being a provider in the industry help you with your career path?
Yeah. Well, kind of what happened was I started volunteering at Club Impact actually, and I've always been kind of I've had family in the IDD community, and when I moved up to Portland, I just needed something outside of just the 9 to 5. I wasn't doing a very fun job at that time, and I found Club Impact. I was working with Ralph Gilliam for a long while, and I loved what the program was. It still is really great, and it's a good space for people. And then I met Mark Roeder, who ran LifeSource, and he's like, you know what? You want to be a provider? At the time, I thought, that would be really interesting, really cool, and interesting to do. I was actually trying to finish up my degree in psychology, and initially it was for gerontology. So I ended up realizing, you know what? There's more need, I think, and gerontology and some of the stuff with the IDD community are kind of paralleled a little bit.
Mhm.
So I decided, this seems like a good place for me to be. And I started realizing more and more how there's just a lack of a lot of different resources and needs for the community working and volunteering at Club Impact and working and being a provider of life source. I realized that, mental health, there's a lot of stuff to help with behavior, but there's not a lot of stuff to help people process their feelings. And so after COVID, I took a break from everything because I raised my daughter for a couple of years, and the ARC had taken on Club Impact, and they asked me if I'd be interested in working as the program manager and leading Club Impact and doing other programs like that. And I thought, this is perfect. So this is one of my steps to be more of an advocate and help with like mental health and wellness programming, which we're hopefully trying to do at the ARC right now. So it's a slow boat, but we're trying to raise awareness and get grant money and stuff like that to help make programs that can be offered for that.
Nice, nice. So what does I guess you talked a little bit about the York, obviously the program that you got the job at. What does what does the program do to, what does your program do for people in the IED community?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of programs, but what I will say is the ARC itself in the Portland area, the ARC has a bunch of chapters. So there's like a chapter of Lane County. There's a chapter of I know Southwest Vancouver has a chapter, and we have an overall chapter in Oregon, the Oregon ARC, the ARC of Oregon, and then we have the Portland Metro. Portland Metro covers Washington, Clackamas, and Multnomah County. So I have a lot of ground to cover. Um, every day I'm trying to figure out a new way to get more services and programs to those neck of the woods. But
Mhm.
what I do specifically, so we have an art program that's called Club Mosaic. It's kind of new. We have the first Wednesday at Clackamas Town Center food court, and people just there's a bunch of art supplies that I bring, then people can do whatever kind of art they want to. It's the basic stuff like markers, paper, crafts. And then on the third Wednesday we meet, but it's at the Lloyd Center. And it's from 12 to 2, at the same time, and it's to provide art for people who just want something to do. We chose the malls because one, everybody can bring their lunch or they can get lunch there, and it's also just an easy place for a lot of folks to go and hang out. Club Impact, Sawyer, you know this pretty well, but Club Impact is a social program that is just geared to have people come and hang out and make friends. Ralph kind of started it out because he was a transition teacher, and he found that a lot of students, after they do their transition school, didn't have that third place to like socialize and hang out with people. School kind of helps us socialize a lot, and if we don't have that, things happen where we're like not eating healthy, we're not taking care of ourselves as well because we don't feel very motivated to do anything other than maybe watch movies and stuff. I'm guilty of that too. So he decided, let's make an event night once a week, and it's been going on Monday outside of COVID for I want to say over 13 years now. So that's pretty decent. Then along with that, we have a bunch of other various programs. We do educational programming like friendship and dating, which kind of talks to people about what it means to have a meaningful relationship with, either friends or a romantic partner. We talk about everything from sex, sexuality to thinking about who you are as a person and what you love to do and how important it is maybe that if you're looking for a romantic partner or a friendship, how much you need to share those things in order to have a successful relationship. So those are a lot of the things that we do. I also do help a lot with resources and try to get the word out about various resources that certain folks in our community might need. You probably know that the ARC has a huge donation center that people bring stuff to and donate, and then we resell it at
Oh,
our thrift
dang.
shop. Yeah, and that helps us a lot with our programs and our staffing. Um, and a lot of the stuff that we get sometimes I also get to use for bingo night for
Mhm.
prizes. So that really helps. And we get some really cool stuff on occasion. So yeah. So those are the overall, that's a lot, but that's all the programming that we do for the most
That
part.
that's awesome. So if there's people out there that are watching that you don't have a disability or that just want to just sign up, what would you, if you don't mind me asking, what would you recommend they do?
Yeah, probably depending on what's easiest for them. Probably phone number, either by text message or call. And if you're okay with it, sorry, I can tell my work number if that's okay. Or
Yeah,
I can give it to you and you can post it somewhere along with your video. But the phone number is 360-726-3033. So that's the easiest probably way. Or you can go to our Facebook page. It's actually Club and or pardon me, it's Club Impact Northwest NW. And that usually has all the various things that we're doing, and it's easy to get signed up that way too. You can send me a message there, or you can text or call me on the phone number, whatever's easier for you.
nice, nice. So yeah, everybody out there, like go help support. Obviously, you're doing amazing things. Obviously, so good to see that you're moving forward with all these amazing opportunities. And go support. Like I said, you're gonna and correct me if I'm wrong, Casey, but you're gonna make you're gonna make friends, and you're gonna have fun with people, and you're gonna get to know a lot about the community. So just go out there, support, have do do whatever you can, etc., etc. So, what would you want? What do you want to see when it comes to change for the IDD community? And what would you like
Oh,
to see, I guess, when it comes to, I guess, just like in the future in a good way? What would you like to see eventually happen?
I have a lot of different things that I really want to see happen, but one that I'd really like to see happen more sooner than later is I know that having a mutual space for folks in the IDD community where they don't have to pay to be there and they can have lunch there and do activities and programs is really, really important. One of the difficulties that I have found being a program manager is finding space that is free or cheap because our locations don't have the facilities for a program. They're not wheelchair accessible and so forth because there's a lot of like stuff moving around. Um, so I have felt that talking to city council, because I know the Lloyd district in that area, they're going to be shaping it up a little bit. And trying to have an actual resource center for the disability community, maybe overall, or intellectual and developmental disability uh, community is really needed. I know a lot of other people in my field and various other colleagues in the area all feel that that would be really helpful. But the real question is, what do you think, Sawyer? What do you think you would like to see change? Because I technically work for the community. So that's my job is to try to figure out what we need.
I guess so. If anybody has any, before I say if anybody has any, put it down. If anybody has anything they would like to see happen, put it down in the comments below, and then I'll send it out to agencies and then you, and then we'll see if anybody has any ideas, just put it in the comments below. But for me personally, I would like to eventually see providers get a decent wage, And
that's a big one. That's a
yeah, and
big
eventually
one.
people realized that they're doing a lot because, like I said, this never would have happened. This YouTube channel, none of this would have happened if it wasn't for providers. They provided that spark, and so yeah, I did the work, but they kind of helped out big way. And then
Yeah.
number two, I guess for me also would be kind of getting more with it comes to helping people achieve their dreams, sort of more social stuff that like, hey, it doesn't matter what part of Portland you're in or what part of the US you're in, sort of like even if it's Zoom, so this you can meet, let's say if I'm on the west side, you can communicate with people on the east side, sort of a more broader sort of outside of transition. Those more, it's not just okay, transition's done, high school's done, that social stops, kind of like a place, well, kind of what you're doing, kind of like that's why I kind of really like it because it's kind of like, okay, everybody, a place where everybody can socialize, everybody can sort of like, if they want to, everybody can socialize, sort of making it well, I guess, socialization, making it well, you can make friends outside of transition, outside of high school, sort of making spaces where that can happen.
Yeah. And I feel like, as you know, Sawyer, a lot of people have ideas, parents and caregivers, but sometimes it really needs to be focused on what the community themselves need. So it's really up to us, the people in our positions, to listen and hear what you're needing.
Mhm,
We, there's like the person centered versus the person directed.
mhm,
I don't know if you've heard that before, but person centered is kind of what most people are familiar with, where like when you have a team working with an individual in our community, they're all kind of doing what's best for that person based on, you know, all these different criteria. Whereas with person driven, it's more your choice in what you want. And most of the time it's like that. But someone might say, well, I don't want them smoking anymore because that's going to cause problems for them. So it's been a long road. I've learned a lot over my years of like what it means to make sure the folks that I'm working with have autonomy and the needs that they have. And sometimes I get worried about the folks I work with. I'm like, oh, I really don't want you to eat that sugary thing because I know you struggle with that. But again, that's your choice. And that makes it very an interesting topic. I like talking about those things because it makes my brain work, and I have to be like, so um, I'm kind of rambling at this point because it's exciting to talk about this overall. I appreciate you doing this, Sawyer. This is really
yeah, thank you
cool.
so much. Yeah, like I said, I guess another
So
one.
having people go get a college like degree to be a provider or to
Well,
get
that too, or
continuing.
people kind of like doing kind of like they do at Kiwanis camp, or like camp, you have take, you kind of have this class and kind of like, you can kind of come in and learn what it's like, and then you can see, okay, do I want to be a provider, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's really wise. I think having opportunities for people to learn what that's like, because what you find, and I'm sure I feel like a lot of folks I know who are part of the community feel this all the time is they have a new person who knows nothing about what it means to be a person with uh, a person who experiences developmental and intellectual disability, and that's really hard. I would think going into a relationship like that where someone's supposed to be there for you and support
Mhm.
you. So yeah, I think people definitely need more experience and opportunities to have those experiences prior to actually working with folks. So like for example, just doing I'm looking for volunteers and interns to kind of work with me in programs. We're a nonprofit, so a lot of our stuff needs to be volunteer and intern based. And that gives you a really good opportunity to, one, learn the kind of everyday things that folks in the community are dealing with. Um, that again, I did club impact first, and that's how I really got a good understanding of what was going on. And I had a lot of people around me who were very wise and could give me a lot of deep discussion thinking about different things. Ralph was a transition teacher, and he had been doing club impact for a while at that point. So I think having those folks around me really helped me be a better advocate and a better educator and a lot of different things that I'd never really considered until becoming, and I was pretty, I wasn't as smart as I am now with what I know, even when I was a provider. And I think when you're a provider, you learn a lot more. But I think those opportunities are really important for the individuals that I serve and work with. So yeah, sorry, that was a long answer for.
No, no, it's okay. No, it's okay. Obviously, you're learning. Obviously, it's like any job. You kind of have to learn as you go. Kind of like you can't.
Yeah,
You have to learn on the job to see if you truly like it or not. Yeah, but obviously, the more providers we can get, that would be awesome.
yeah, that's really needed. And yeah, pay is a big issue because when you think about the amount of education a provider
Mhm.
should, and they do, a lot of them educate themselves, like the really good ones are out there educating themselves constantly and trying to learn things. And it takes a lot of time to learn how to be a good advocate as well as a provider and a DSP, to the point where, I mean, I feel like the more educated people are with stuff, the more solid they are, the more they understand this is what they want to do. And I feel like that's what the community deserves, is a really strong foundation in that. I don't know. That's me, and paying them more is absolutely important. And I find it really interesting that that can be really challenging right now, especially after COVID, when it was obvious that it was so dire and needed for our community. So yeah,
Nice, nice. Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this interview today. So how did hopefully we can keep moving forward with awareness and everything. Would you recommend that okay, maybe we should put the age out of college